Ever since I started this YouTube channel, I've been trying to share not only the most popular wireless or wearable tech with you guys, but I've always found it important to showcase some other products with distinctive or forward-thinking designs. And the Angry Miao CyberBlade earbuds definitely fit the bill as far as uniqueness is concerned, so if you wanna know why, then stick with me after the intro. Hi everyone, my name is Andy, and you're watching Andy's Tech Tone. So what is CyberBlade? Well, it's a set of premium true wireless earbuds with the option to connect the battery case to your laptop or game console with a USB-C cable, giving you ultra-low latency, virtual surround sound, and some cool RGB effects. The CyberBlade does not only come with a proprietary SoC in each earbud, but there is also a third chip inside the round-shaped battery case, which controls all the low-latency wireless connection stuff and the complex audio processing, which together Angry Miao calls Advanced Sound Enhancement, or ASE. You get a fancy little RGB dock as well, but you can use the battery case on its own too. However, I like leaving the case in the dock all the time, as it does not only charge the case itself through a 6-pin magnetic connector, but it also makes the whole operation more stable. And I say operation because the lid of the case doubles as a rotary dial for adjusting volume, and you can also press on it to control other features. So this pressing and rotating action is more stable with the case in the dock. With a single press on the lid, you connect the buds to your computer, enabling all the ASE features through a proprietary wireless protocol, and with a double press, you can connect to your phone through conventional Bluetooth. If you are in ASE mode, then a single press can enable or disable the microphones on the buds. With a triple press, you can turn the RGB lights on and off, and the long press action will toggle through the gaming, movie and music modes, but more about these sound profiles later on. And as long as the LED lights are enabled, you can immediately see all the changes you make, as the RGB colors will also change accordingly. It's quite a neat little package overall. Onto the earbuds. They look futuristic, even if a bit flashy for my taste, and that applies to all the color options. The lighting pattern of the RGB strip on the side can be set up using the smartphone app, and if we factor in the influence the game Horizon Zero Dawn had on the design, then it becomes clear that the CyberBlade buds were indeed made for gamers. Not that it wasn't obvious from the get-go. So the IPX4 rating will only come into play when your online campaign starts to get a bit too hot, making you sweat a little. Sure, you could take the buds with you to the gym or outside, but I would say that their natural habitat is at or around your desk or in your favorite gaming chair. The fit is snug enough for casual everyday activities, so strolling around in town is absolutely comfortable, but only if you have a large enough pocket for the big and bulky case, should you want to take it with you. The buds weigh in at around 6.5 grams each, and they are comfortable to wear for hours on end. You get a wide selection of silicone ear tips along with some memory foam options in the box. And talking about the content of the box, the earbuds come with two cables. One is an 80 cm long USB-C to USB-C cable, and the other one is a 2 meter long USB-A to USB-C cable. And of course there is the dock. And as I said before, the case is being charged in the dock at all times, but you can opt for charging the case either through its own USB Type-C port or on any Qi-compatible wireless charging pad. The total playtime is up to 24 hours, with 6 hours of single charge playtime in Bluetooth mode, but you only get about 4 hours of use when the buds are connected to a device through the case in ASE mode. So an all-day long battery life is out of question, but with a 5-minute quick charge you can get an extra 40 minutes of use out of the buds. In terms of traditional wireless connection, the CyberBlade buds can use either the AAC or the SBC audio codecs, which are supported by the Bluetooth 5.2 compliant chip on board. We get no high-res codec support, but you can use each of the buds independently in a mono mode. And while there is no multi-point support in a traditional way, it's easy to switch back and forth between your phone and your PC or laptop by pressing on the lid of the case. I have not experienced any signal dropouts or lip sync issues during my tests, but you cannot expect such a low latency in Bluetooth mode as what the triple SoC design can provide you with in ASE mode. Now, to be honest, I'm no gamer by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't have a game console, and my MacBook Pro is getting a bit long in the tooth as well, which means that I don't have a proper first-hand gaming experience with the buds. However, after doing some research and watching other reviews that focus on the gaming aspect of the CyberBlades, I can safely say that the earbuds work directly and automatically with PS4, PS5 and Nintendo Switch, while according to the official specs, an Xbox can only be connected through a smart TV. And besides getting an extremely low latency of 40 milliseconds or less, you can also use the dock as a volume controller, and the built-in microphones are compatible with in-game voice chats as well. And talking about chatting, here's a quick audio sample from the built-in microphones. There are 6 mics in total, so you can get a clear voice transmission. I reckon most of you will use these buds in a dark and quiet room, but just in case you happen to make a phone call with the CyberBlade while out and about, here's another audio sample for you from the side of a busy road with some traffic and wind noise trying to mess up the sound. As for the controls, I already touched upon what you can do with the lid of the case in ASE mode, but the earbuds themselves offer some control functions too. At the bottom of each triangle there is a Force Touch interface, which is very similar to what Apple has done on the AirPods Pros, but it does not work that smoothly. I feel like I have to apply quite some force to make it register an action. We do not get volume controls on the buds, and there is no option to remap the functions in the smartphone app either. With the case connected to a laptop, you gain volume controls of course, but with the buds on their own, the control options are limited. Thanks to the smart sensors, media playback will pause automatically, but only if you take both buds out of your ears. Taking one of them out will only mute that bud without pausing playback, which is not ideal in my opinion. And again, there is no option in the app to customize this behavior of the smart sensors. And altogether, there are not that many things you can customize in the Angry Miao smartphone app. You can set up some RGB effects and you get 3 EQ presets, and that's all. The app is available on both Android and iOS, and there is also an app for Windows where you can upgrade the firmware of the dock and the charging case, for example, but a Mac version is not available as of making this video. So there is room for improvement on the software side of things, and according to my sources, some updates are coming that will tweak certain features, but that remains to be just a promise for now. Next up is the ANC. The CyberBlade buds can offer you active noise cancelling along with a transparency mode. But if I'm completely honest, then neither of these two features can deliver the best performance when stacking them up to the best ANC buds. That is, if we consider any of the traditional true wireless buds to be competition in any regard. But nevertheless, the ANC can only dampen some of the low-frequency hums and rumbles, while blocking out higher-pitched noises proves to be more challenging. There is some hiss present in the sound with the noise cancelling turned on, and while it's not too distracting at all, it becomes a bit more prominent when we switch to transparency mode. But other than the hissing noise, transparency works okay with easy-to-understand voices. I don't think that battling wind noise was a priority when developing the ANC algorithm, and when used outside, the buds can produce some of that annoying whistling noise in both ANC and transparency mode. Sure, sitting in a quiet room, the CyberBlades will do a decent job with taming AC and fan noise, but I don't think that the ANC performance should be high on your priority list when buying these earbuds. And now let's talk about the sound quality of the CyberBlades. There is a 10mm dynamic driver in each bud, and in Bluetooth mode with the AAC codec and the ANC turned on, these drivers can deliver a strong bass with a good extension and with a hefty punch. That said, I have heard a more agile and more snappy bottom end before. If you turn off noise cancelling, you will lose the tiniest amount of weight in the lower octaves, so that's one way to play around with the sound of the earbuds. The other is using the EQ in the app. And even though the balanced setting is the most natural and the most satisfying to my ears, you can try the vocal mode to add extra energy to the mids and the highs. And there is the bass mode, which takes things a bit too far in terms of boominess and fullness of the bottom end, but I'm quite certain that some of you will prefer it the most. However, I used the balanced mode during my tests, and this way I got some well-balanced and well-articulated mid-range. The vocals might be a bit recessed, but not to the extent that it would bother me. The highs convey all the necessary details, and they can only get excessively bright closer or at full volume, which to be honest might be a bit lower than what I'm used to, but it's still plenty loud for my own listening habits and needs. Imaging is good with decent separation, and we get a fairly wide soundstage too. There is nothing too extreme or special here, but the buds sound coherent and balanced overall, giving me an enjoyable musical experience. And switching to ASC mode and turning the music mode on can only improve the sound of the earbuds. The overall balanced character remains intact, but I feel like we get a wider, deeper and more detailed view into the music with some rough high-frequency edges rounded off. The vocals come to life and step forward a little, which always gets a big thumbs up from me. Maximum volume also jumps up a bit, and overall I feel like we get better dynamics and maybe a bit more punch in the bass too. Game mode might come in handy if you want more spatial awareness and want to make sure you can hear all the little noises your fellow players might make when creeping up on you from behind. The movie mode can create a virtual surround environment, which some of you might enjoy when watching some blockbuster movies with a big soundscape. However, I've never really liked these sorts of effects, and I almost exclusively used the music mode during my tests, regardless of the content, as I enjoyed it the most. Now it's time for some sort of a conclusion. The price started off slightly above $300, but as of making this video, it has already dropped down to $250. Not sure when and where you watch this review, so for actual prices please check out the links in the description. And while the price might sound a bit too steep at first, please do not forget that there is basically no competition which could provide you with a similar set of features. As you could see, the CyberBlade earbuds offer you plenty of connection and sound processing options, so I'm pretty sure everyone can find the exact mode and setting that suit them and their use case the best, be it gaming, music or movies, sitting at your desk or walking around in town. And to add another use case to this list, I edited this video partially using the CyberBlades, which is the first time ever that I used wireless buds for such work. So if you want to ditch your wired or wireless over-ears while sitting at a desk streaming, working, editing or simply enjoying your favorite movies or songs, the CyberBlade buds can offer you a distinctive set of features, including the RGB lights and the super low latency. The design either agrees with your taste or it doesn't, and there are a few quirks to be ironed out, but you cannot deny that Angry Miao created something unique and innovative here. And as I said it in the intro, I always appreciate testing and reviewing products that meet the requirements of being interesting and forward-thinking at the same time. And this was my take on the Angry Miao CyberBlade buds. Thanks for the manufacturer for providing me with a free sample, but of course I did not get paid for making this video, nor was I told or asked what to say to you about their product. But I encourage you to ask me in the comments should you have any questions, and I also ask you to give this video a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Subscribing to the channel would be much appreciated, of course, and as always, thanks for watching. See you all in the next one.